put on a show, I'm incurring costs. And as a business person, I record everything. When I drive to go see Steven, I record my mileage. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you. That's where I'm trained as a business person. You got to record, because if you don't, you never know how to size your business. You came back and put the paint and then put the glaze back?
I put the paint first, then the glaze.
Oh, you put the paint first and then the glaze over it.
I think you could sell that right there for $250.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah. Don't nothing less.
What you be spraying on here?
It's Krylon, man. Everything is Krylon.
Why is he hitting this one so hard?
Because the joints that have thicker paint, Krylon takes to the paint better than the thin ones.
The ultimate success is not really so much selling the art, but selling the service. I keep talking to him, and Derek will tell you, I will never tell him exactly. He'll be questioning me to death. Well, red, well, what color, and how exactly? And I'll give him the vision. I'll say, I just want this, and I want you to center it here. But do I ever tell you exactly what I want? Never, because I never want to lose. I never want him to lose that artistic freedom to do what he does. Poncho and Jacob Lawrence, they found a niche of what people liked, and they just duplicated. And Coltrane, because I got it in the hallway, he's like, "Oh man, who did this?" I said, "Look, we're gonna get the piano done first, because I want to make sure you tune my piano right." He was tuning my piano. He got it. So I said, "I'm not giving out any names." Then he walked up the stairs. He said, "Oh my God!" He said, He says, "You're an artist." I said, "No, I know artists." I said, "I play piano," and it took him a half an hour to get started on my piano. He wanted to see every single one, and all he kept asking me was, "Well, what was something like this run?" I said, "I haven't talked to the artist yet. I can't. You know what I mean? I didn't do this. You know what I mean? I can't discuss. How can I haven't talked to the artist yet. He just the stuff is still wet. But what I can do is give you your name, your email address, give you some information on you. I'll put you in the database, and when we have our show, you will get an invitation." He said, "Please do." I'd like to bring my wife out, myself, and my aunt. It's over, because when people come in and see what we're going to be throwing down, it's going to go quick. But anyway, let's talk about the inventory. What I figured is, I've got about 62 people, I think, that'll be guaranteed to come through. And out of the 62 people, I would say 80%, 85% will probably be positive buyers. If it's something that they see that they want. That tells me we need to have a minimum of 30 to 35 pieces. This is one thing, and I'm trying to work with Derek. Derek, the reason why I like his work is Derek is explosive with color. But the thing...
You're right on the brown. You're right on the brown.
But what I like to do is, I want to make sure in all that color that the image is still captured.
I did it on here. I changed the brown.
Come upstairs. We're going to do champagne and just, like a caviar kind of, no real food, because we're not trying to, this is not a feeding party. This is an art show.
So he wants to get the other one. He wants to go ahead with all three of them by Friday. I feel comfortable with these two going to the third one, just understanding the feeling for everything.
I want to take 30% off the top, 70% go back to the artist. Only because I'm doing it at the house, and the cost. Now, but for the inventory that we sell per artist, it's only going to be a 70-30 split. You got to have at least 7-8 pieces. It wouldn't be fair for one artist because there's going to be, and I'll tell you how it works, and y'all think about this week, and I'll show it to you on paper, because it wouldn't be fair. Let's just say Derek's got 25 pieces and you only got 4, and the cost to put on this show, he's got to endure some of that cost, and he's only getting the 70%. And you're getting a 70% split on your merchandise. It's just, to me, it's not fair. I want to work out a deal with each one of you based on the reproductions. And that's going to be until I determine what the costs are. I don't know yet. And you think, well, a month now with this guy, and he's working with us, but I still don't understand all the cost. So until I understand the cost, then once I figure that out, then I'm gonna come to you and say, okay, this is the kind of deal I want to work out on reproduction. I'm drafting up what we call non-disclosure acts, where anybody that touches this work, even though it's sitting in my house, under law, cannot take it or reproduce it. But that is on the inventory, all of the costs that are associated with the show come 60/30 too. So what I'm saying is, let's just say I get this piece, and this is, say the piece sells for $1,000. You get 60% of that, $600. But out of your $600, whatever the costs were rolled up into the show, you're paying 60% of the cost. I'm picking up 30% of the cost. Right. And you pay 70% of the $200. I pick up 30%.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean?
Well, that's nice of you because you don't have to do that.
What do you mean?
Because you put 200 in.
I understand that, but I'm trying to show y'all I got a bigger picture, though.
Okay. But that's nice of you because you ain't got to do that. That's nice.
This is Derek. This is the great artist of this.
Hey.
Oh, really?
Nice to meet you.
Fantastic.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
What's up, girl?
How you
Hey,
doing?
nice to
Conrad.
see you.
How you doing?
Conrad.
How you doing?
All
You
right.
told me you was at the store. If I would have known, I would have walkie-talkied you about that young lady.
I don't. Typically, I should take the cost off the top.
Right, true.
Right. But what I'm trying to show y'all is, I'm not trying to say this is a little bit of money, for me, but I'm thinking a whole lot more down the road. And you'll see, because what I want to do, though, is if I put $200 into this piece, and I only talked about the reproduction. Remember what I said? I'm in this for the reproduction. I want rights on distribution for the images. I'm not saying I don't want to own the images, but I want to be able to take the images, and if I wanted to make 200 copies of these, I want rights to that image for the reproduction. In a good faith effort. Plus, I look at it like this. If we price it right, why shouldn't I pick up 30% of the cost? You know what I mean? To me, if you sell something like, for example, your piece, Ying Ling, I don't know, let's just use numbers, okay? I'm not saying that it's worth that. Let's just say today, looking at it, $400. I'm just using that as a number. If we package it right, we might be able to sell it for 12. That's a 600% profit. It ain't gonna hurt me to pay 30%.
Right, I got you.
My thing is, I want to be able to take a piece like a John Coltrane or something like that and package a deal, $1 million deal. Who says we can't take the Cascade series to IKEA and cut us some? Why not?
What was the split you were talking about then, or is that something we talk about at a later date? Since we're going that far into it, in terms of reproductions, and you have the rights to distribution.
Yeah, I don't know what that is until I figure out the cost.
Okay.
It's starting to look expensive to me right now. If I cut a deal to say, go to Derek and say, okay, Derek, let's make this a limited edition, which means Derek will decide we want to do 300 or 400 of these or whatever it is. After 300, that's it. Everything gets burned. That's because to do 300 that's $50,000. Do the math. I would need, if Derek came to me and said I want to do 400 300 of John Coltrane, it's going to be about a $50,000 expense for me for one picture. And it's not going to be every image. It's going to be one image that's going to pop. Like, let me tell you what I think. I think the clown. I don't know. I think it's a hot image. I think that's an image that can go a long way.
Face part is
Right.
No,
we got to
we
sharpen that.
already there.
We already there.
That's
But what do you
already
think about the background?
that's on.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That sounds like popcorn. I wouldn't even put a gloss on it. I said, before you go any farther, let me take it to the artist and see what he likes. Everybody in this room, has seen the original.
Yeah. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That ain't bad at all. That's the best I've seen.
Derek and I was looking for it. We kept looking for that richness of the
won't
original.
find it.
The only way you're going to get it if you put it on paper. And even if you don't get the richness of it on paper, you just get the vibrant colors on paper. Going back to your original question, a guy like me, okay, who loves art. Now, I have spent $1,500 on one piece of art. Now, the reason why I spent $1,500 on a piece of art because I thought I loved it so much that I had to have it. Now, and that was a reproduction. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that is what we got to do to these G clays. We've got to make them look almost real. So what's going to have to happen is once I get the Dizzy back and the clown back, you're going to have to find something in the image to come back over very, very lightly and put real paint on it. Value will always decrease. You start at canvas, top value, anything down from that decreases the value. Really?
You don't?
Yeah. I sure do.
Yeah.
This is the one that has the richer color, and it's all about light. Now, you're
Is this right here. All of this that's going on.
right.
Whenever we put up something, I never look at this. This is the last thing I look at. First thing I look at,
That's true.
this sets the tone. All of this sets the tone for his whole picture. If this is not there, then
Yeah,
that's
the light now.
Yeah.
But you know what though? That's an artist's point of view. A buyer, the first thing the buyer looks at is the image. They don't even look at this. I mean, you see it, but a buyer looks at this. The buyer frames this image, and 90% of the time, they're framing the face of the image. Coming to this show, probably have anywhere between, $15,000 to $50,000 worth of art in their home already. Trust me, my brother. They can tell differences if they study art a lot deeper than what you think they do.
I mean, even though
Take your name. You want to take your signature out of it? For the print. Okay. Now that's a big cell. That's a big cell. That's a big cell.
You
Whole
added
thing.
this color here.
Yeah.
Look like it needs to be
Definitely a thing.
right up here as well. Here and here
I agree.
seem to be the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hey Steve,
Yeah.
if you
There you go, George.
doesn't come out, right? Well, I think that's the closest.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know if he's getting that done because we still have the relief faces.
oh yeah,
and,
it's the most
you know,
interesting thing.
Conrad
is
wants me.
most
Yeah, exactly.
artists, most
How much I'm
artists
gonna invest for.
look at this as an attack on their ability to be the artist that they want to be, and that they're in one sense like my friend Sheila Kreider. Sheila's, Sheila Kreider. That's her umbrella, the parasol. Sheila's bad. Sheila's just a bad artist. But Sheila, I don't do prints. I'm like, well, I respect that incredibly. However, you have artists, I'll just say this, you have artists like me who is going to take this baby right here, and I'm going to do everything I'm doing in paint anyway, and I'm going to do it, it's just another tool to play with. I'm already doing prints on transparencies that are huge, and multiples that look better than, and Derek's doing it too, originals now. You're like, okay, I think you better wake up, and the money that this brings in for me to do my bigger projects.
there you go. That's where it's at.
It's even more important. This is one of Sheila's pieces. Sheila's bad. Sheila's a bad girl. She don't play.